Yeast infection causes itching, redness and burning sensation in a woman's vagina, and this infection can occur frequently in some women, although some may not get to experience this problem. If you have been bothered and annoyed often with the symptoms of a yeast infection, you can find ways to cure yeast infection naturally. Of course, going for the natural way is your best option to avoid side effects of over-the-counter medication. Yeast is a fungus that can be present in the human body, and if your immune system is low, they can attack and create infection in the dark and moist areas of the body. There are however solutions and a few things that you can do yourself to relieve you from yeast infection without getting oral medications or topical creams that only get rid of the symptoms. To help you overcome vaginal infection caused by yeast, here are some ways to cure yeast infection naturally. Eat yogurt or take lactobacillus supplements. This will help increase the number of good bacteria in your body and defeat infection caused by the yeast. This infection starts when there is imbalance in your good and bad bacteria, and taking in more good bacteria will help you fight infections and a good way to cure yeast infection naturally. Cut down on sugar in your diet. Yeast may already be existing in your body but may not be causing you any symptoms of infection or annoyance, but even if this is the case, do not feed them. Sugar from dried fruits, alcohol, sweets and many others are food for the yeast that allows them to grow rapidly. Cutting down on sugar and alcohol will not only be beneficial in avoiding yeast but also good in losing weight and having a healthier diet. Do not douche. Douching leads to an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in the body and thus weakens your immune system and making your vaginal area prone to infections. Wear cotton underwear and avoid tight clothing. Yeast can thrive well in dark and moist areas, and wearing cotton undies will be a great way to avoid the vaginal area from being moist. Also avoid wearing your wet bathing suit for long. You may not mind this, especially if you are enjoying with your swimming, but this can make a good environment for yeast to grow. Avoid birth control pills or antibiotics if you can. Antibiotics may kill the good bacteria in the body and can give rise to yeast infection. Birth control pills are also said to increase your chances of getting yeast infection, so if you can avoid it, get rid of them. This is also a good start in avoid recurring yeast infection. Eat healthy and exercise regularly to make your immune system strong. As mentioned, yeast can be existing in the body and can cause infection when your immune system is low. One effective way to cure yeast infection naturally is to switch to a healthy diet and make some changes in your lifestyle. Minimize consumption of high-sugar foods, junk foods and refined carbohydrates. These will feed yeast in your body and make them grow more. Other ways to cure yeast infection naturally are home remedies like garlic and apple cider vinegar, but you have to follow correct procedures in using them. Carolyn Anderson is an advocate of healthy living and wants to share resources to help you get rid of yeast infection. For a safer and effective way to cure yeast infection, check out Natural Cure for Yeast Infection. Also check out Yeast Infection No More, for some steps to help you become free from yeast infection. I have put the link in description below.